Hello, some good news for both harvesters and holidaymakers with an area of high pressure. Have a look at the satellite picture this morning. This massive cloud looks rather frightening. It is in fact an area of low pressure, but it's just sitting there, although it is spreading bands of cloud up towards the British Isles. This is what I want you to see, this area of nothing to the west of that massive cloud. This is an area of high pressure, and it's coming this way. That's the way the weather chart looks. This fairly deep and alarming area of low pressure isn't actually going to do very much. It's going to drift slowly eastwards and eventually northwards by the very end of the week. Meanwhile, this showery area of low pressure will gradually move away over the next 24 hours. And this nose of high pressure will push northwards and eastwards across the British Isles, gradually improving conditions during the course of tomorrow and pushing these weather fronts out of the way as well. And that's the wonderful sort of chart we have for Tuesday, at least for holidaymakers and people wanting to work outside. This area of high pressure giving dry weather virtually everywhere, I think, on Tuesday, and still very much in charge on Wednesday as well. But these fronts may spread somewhere into the far northwest of Britain later on Wednesday, and some wind too by that time. Meanwhile, this area of low pressure is drifting into Spain. Eventually it'll start moving northwards over Biscay on Thursday and Friday. And this does herald a change, a return perhaps to rather more changeable weather for the very end of the week. This front wriggling its way southwards across Scotland and Northern Ireland into the far north of England during the course of Thursday. But then this area of low pressure just could develop into a major feature by the very end of the week. We're most uncertain about that, but that's the way it could develop by the end of the week, bringing showery conditions back to many places. But another area of high pressure in the wings. That's the radar picture at the moment. A few showers showing in the northern and western Isles, some heavier showers over eastern parts of England. So that's what we have at the moment, those heavier showers gradually, I think, dying away in the next hour or so, but possibly building up again in many central and eastern parts of England during the course of the afternoon and the evening. The best of the sunshine today, that'll be in Scotland and Northern Ireland and Wales, mostly dry there, but the cloud gradually increasing, the thin upper cloud gradually increasing over Wales as we go through the afternoon. But not a bad day in the north and west. Certainly it's a change for Scotland and Northern Ireland to have such fine weather. Fairly light winds everywhere too, and the temperatures not half bad either. In the north, 16 to 18 Celsius, as high as 20, 21 or even 22 degrees Celsius in the southern districts with those fairly light winds. Tonight, Scotland and Northern Ireland, I think, dry, a few patches of mist or fog. England and Wales could well have some thicker cloud with rain in places, but a mild night in the south, much cooler, 6 to 8 degrees in the north. That's tomorrow's chart. A few showers at first, eastern Scotland, eastern parts and southern parts of England and Wales, but gradually becoming dry and very pleasant as we go through the day with fairly light winds everywhere. Very much the same on Tuesday. Yes, there could be a touch of ground frost early on in the day. But then on Wednesday, some rain getting to Northern Ireland and Scotland there, coming down